Satnam. This is Satphotic Kaur coming to you for our weekly Dharma talk. And I had a interesting dream this morning that I wanted to share that brought up some further questions that I'll probably explore next week. But in the dream, I'm in sort of a surreal, futuristic space. And I'm taking a stairway to heaven, very like the song. And in my consciousness in the dream, I recognize that everyone gets to take the stairway. Just some people have fewer steps to take, less rigorous climb. Let's put it that way. But everybody gets access to heaven, whatever that is. And then when I made it to the top of the staircase, I was invited into a room, and a mirror was held up in front of me. And I knew that this was my test, and so I said into the mirror, "I love you." And nothing happened. And then I said, "Just as you are." And in that split second, as I said the words, "just as you are," everything disappeared. And I was just in a state of non-dual awareness. Whatever I call I or me was gone. The whole surreal scene was gone. Everything in the created manifest world disappeared in a blink, and I was in this state of non-dual awareness. And so then I realized that this is so much of how we're taught about the polarity of life, and dancing that dance of polarity is really ultimately about self-forgiveness and self-love. And Yogi Bhajan always said this, that ultimately whatever we perceive of an afterlife, whether in the Christian modality of heaven and hell or the Dharmic reality of reincarnation, ultimately it's we ourselves who judge our life and who make a conscious karmic choice moving forward of where we're going to go. And so it was so fascinating for that reality to make itself known in a dream. I don't typically have these kind of teaching dreams. So the question that it arose in me is, when we look at Buddha Dharma, there's lots and lots of teachings around non-dual awareness. And when we look at Sikh Dharma, we don't specifically call it non-dual awareness, but there is the sense of always saying yes to everything. There is the notion of hukum. There is the notion of everything is in the play of God's hand. Nothing is outside of God. And so in that language is a non-dual awareness of life. And then I thought of the phrase that we use over and over again in Kundalini Yoga, which is the yoga of awareness. And so in my own meditations this week, I'm going to explore, what are we being made aware of? There's these typical cues of become aware of your breath, become aware of your body, your thoughts, your feelings, your sensations. But isn't it more of a practice to becoming aware of the present moment? And in the present moment is that non-dual awareness. So these are the questions that the dream brought up, and the realities that it reinforced for me, that everyone has an opportunity to practice self-forgiveness and self-love in that moment of judgment day, right? That moment when the psyche gets to say yes and move forward in a positive way in whatever the future holds, whether it's your concept of heaven or just a concept of coming back again and again to serve the created world in this consciousness. So enjoy the climb and practice looking in the mirror and affirming to yourself, I love you just as you are. Sanam.